Liverpool rocked by shock twists on and off the pitch. Don't miss a second. Subscribe now for instant Reds updates, exclusives, and breaking alerts.
News headline: Arne Slot warned Mohamed Salah could be problem for Liverpool against Man City. Mohamed Salah has been Liverpool's best forward for almost a decade, but he is enduring his worst season since moving to Merseyside and could leave this summer. Former Liverpool player Joe Cole believes that Mohamed Salah is a problem for the Reds because too much of the team's play still goes through the Egyptian superstar. Salah produced arguably his best-ever season last term as he drove Liverpool to the Premier League title, but this season has been his worst since he moved to Merseyside. Hugo Ekitike has usurped him, for the time being at least, as Liverpool's most reliable source of goals, but Cole thinks that Salah's long-standing status as the team's go-to man means that Ekitike does not yet enjoy the prominence in the team that he deserves. Cole believes that Ekitike would be one of the main beneficiaries were Salah to leave the club this summer. The first 30 minutes of the Newcastle game last weekend, Liverpool were taken apart. It could have been 2-0. After that, they were sublime. I think the problem for Arne Slot is Mo Salah. Hugo Ekitike looks like he's the type of player that would benefit from having a starring role, but when Mo plays, the ball goes to him all the time because he's been so good. This will be the last 3 months at Liverpool for Mo Salah. I think he'll leave at the end of the season and walk out with being an all-time great at the club. Going forward, Arne Slot is going to have to find somewhere to adjust the system of how his team play. Cole recently identified Jarrod Bowen as a possible replacement for Salah should the England international suffer relegation with West Ham this season. Jarrod is a wonderful footballer, a great character, and a hero at West Ham. His name will stand shoulder to shoulder with all the great players that have played for the club, Cole told Paddy Power. He's loved at the club, and he deserves, at the peak of his career, to win silverware and fight at the top level. If West Ham were to get relegated, it won't be anything to do with what Jarrod Bowen has done. He's been a stalwart for the club. I think he'll walk away, and the majority of the fans will accept that. Who does he suit? Obviously Liverpool. That slot might come into play if Mo Salah leaves. He can go and play anywhere.
News headline: Man City could be without 6 players for Liverpool game as Pep Guardiola issues update. The Manchester City head coach revealed in Friday's press conference that he has one injury doubt, but another is available again, ahead of the Premier League trip to Anfield. Manchester City could be without 6 players for Sunday's Premier League encounter against Liverpool. City travels to Anfield after securing its place in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday, and with Liverpool having a free midweek before the Premier League clash, the Reds should at least approach the game feeling fresher. Despite Arne Slot's claims that Liverpool will struggle to deal with more injuries before the season's conclusion, it is actually City who heads into Sunday's meeting with more injury concerns. Bernardo Silva added his name to that list this week when he sustained a thigh injury, which ruled him out of the victory over Newcastle United. Speaking on Friday, Pep Guardiola revealed a decision will be made on his availability before Sunday's game. Should the City captain miss out, it would be a significant blow. Silva has played in every Premier League match this season and is highly experienced in these high-stakes Anfield encounters. As is Ruben Dias. The center-back has missed the last 9 games through injury, but returned to the squad in midweek, and Guardiola said he is ready to play on Sunday if required. He's back, and we will see if he plays minutes. It's good news for us. There was further encouragement at center-back, with Guardiola confirming John Stones, who last played for City at the start of December, is back in training. He won't be available this weekend, however, while City also remains without Josko Gvardiol, Mateo Kovacic, Jeremy Doku, and Savinho. Ryan Cherki, who was linked with a summer move to Liverpool, was a doubt earlier this week, but featured against Newcastle on Wednesday.
Gianluigi Donnarumma and Erling Haaland are expected to return to the lineup after dropping to the bench for the Carabao Cup semi-final. As for Liverpool, it remains without former City youth team star Jeremy Frimpong, who has not yet returned to training following the groin injury he sustained in last week's win over Karabakh. Joe Gomez could be an option as he continues his recovery from a hip problem, but Slot said the defender is unlikely to fit in time to start this weekend. That will probably result in Dominik Szoboszlai continuing at right back. The Reds also remain without long-term absentees Connor Bradley, Giovanni Leone, and Alexander Isak.
News headline: Pep Guardiola still has one big thing to achieve before Man City exit, and Liverpool can stop him. News in details. Liverpool will take on Man City this weekend, potentially for the final time with Pep Guardiola at the helm, and Arne Slot could really do with another statement win. We have, of course, been here before. Pep Guardiola leaving Manchester City? It's probably best to believe it when you see it. There have been a couple of periods previously where everyone collectively decided that he was off, only for him to stay. This time, though, it does feel possible that we could be inside the Spaniards' final few months in the Premier League. Jurgen Klopp left Liverpool after 9 years in charge, and Guardiola could exit at a decade. "We're watching Guardiola's last dance in England," Jamie Carragher wrote in his Daily Telegraph column. "The clues are mounting up, pointing to the idea that he will end his Manchester City reign at the end of this season, with succession plans being formulated and his club's recent transfer activity smacking of his hierarchy doing everything in its power to ensure he leaves with another trophy." Manchester City appear to be going out on a limb to make this season successful. Antoine Semenyo and Mark Guehi are big January deals to deliver right here, right now, which adds to the sense they are in a race against time. But he knows his current side has not yet fully matured enough. Like his great Premier League rival, Klopp, there is a sense in the last few seasons of Guardiola feeling a responsibility to leave behind a reconstructed side for a successor, rather than having his replacement start again. And if this is to be the final stretch of Guardiola's time with Manchester City, then this weekend will mark his final trip to Anfield. At least in the Premier League, there is a small chance the pair could meet there in the FA Cup. At the Etihad Stadium, Guardiola has wiped the floor with Liverpool several times. Early on, his team beat Jurgen Klopp's 5-0 in Manchester when Sadio Mane was sent off. John Stones' incredible goal line clearance by just a couple of millimeters was the difference in January 2019, and Manchester City won 4-0 when Liverpool was still celebrating winning the title. Earlier this season, just a couple of months ago, Guardiola beat Arne Slot's side with ease. At Anfield, though, Guardiola's record is far from impressive. It remains the case that his only win at Anfield came when there were no fans inside the ground, taking away a major advantage that Liverpool has. Guardiola has lost away at Liverpool when the Reds have been at various points in their progression. The 3-1 win en route to winning the league under Klopp saw the Reds at their peak, but even when they have been much worse, Manchester City has tended to struggle. That goes back beyond Guardiola, of course. Manchester City's 4-1 win in the COVID period was its first victory in L4 in 18 years, only 7 of which came before the Abu Dhabi takeover, and there have been no more since. But having been pegged back so often by Liverpool, if this is to be Guardiola's last chance to win at Anfield when there are people there to see it, he will be desperate to take it. In many ways, Liverpool has been central to his story in England. The best Manchester City has been seen when the best Liverpool has been there to compete with it and push it on. As both sides attempt to get back to those heights again, this could be the last dance for a blockbuster fixture. It is up to Arne Slot to ensure that if this the final edition, Guardiola misses out on a dream ending.
News headline: Pep Guardiola reveals key Man City player is available again ahead of Liverpool. The Manchester City head coach spoke to the media on Friday ahead of this weekend's trip to Liverpool and gave a fitness update on 3 experienced players.
Pep Guardiola has confirmed Ruben Dias will be available to face Liverpool this weekend, but is still unsure whether Bernardo Silva will be fit for the trip to Anfield. The Portuguese pair have been injury doubts this week ahead of the game, with Dias last playing on January 4th and missing the last 9 Manchester City games as a result. However, Dias returned to the squad for the midweek Carabao Cup win over Newcastle United and was an unused substitute. Asked if he could start on Sunday, Guardiola replied, "He's back and we will see if he plays minutes, but it's good news for us." As for Silva, the City captain has played every single Premier League game this season, but sat out the Newcastle win due to a knock and remains a doubt to face Liverpool. "I don't know yet. Tomorrow training," Guardiola said when asked if the midfielder will be back in time for the Anfield clash. Guardiola also confirmed John Stones has returned to training following a long-term injury, although he will not be available this weekend. "John made a first training with the team. Step by step he is coming back," the ex-Barcelona coach said on Friday. Stones has missed the last 10 league matches with a thigh problem. Guardiola also hinted that Erling Haaland will return to the lineup on Sunday after dropping to the bench in midweek. "Erling is the best striker in the world," he replied bluntly when asked if his number 9 will start against Liverpool. Guardiola could be heading to Anfield for the final time this weekend as City coach, if reports are to be believed. He is yet to win at the ground when fans have been present, and will hope to put that right this weekend. "It is the toughest opponent," Guardiola said on his time at City. "A difficult place and stadium, especially with the quality of the players and managers. It has been tough. I have an idea on my lineup," he added when asked about the mentality of his players at Anfield. "I am trying to see how they play lately, what we have to do, adjust something. But not just Anfield. In all big stages, in big games, always you need big personalities. Always I said it is not about the skills of the players. In the big leagues and top clubs, the skills are there. I never know one player not good enough to play in the big clubs. It is about how you behave, not play good or bad, but how you are as a player. You do it here, in the big stadiums, at home, and in the last stages of the competitions. That defines the good players, and as much you have, it defines the good teams." Despite the Reds' struggles this season, Guardiola is still expecting a tough encounter on Sunday. They, the Liverpool, remain an exceptional team, top-class manager and an exceptional team. The moments are the moments, the seasons are the seasons. I think it has revealed the squad, not for one season, for many years. It always remains a good team.
News headline: Pep Guardiola sends blunt reminder to Arne Slot after eye-catching Liverpool comments. News in details. The Liverpool head coach this week implied that producing an attacking brand of soccer is as important as winning trophies. Guardiola had a mixed view on that stance. Pep Guardiola has responded to Arne Slot's claims that playing with an attractive style is more important than results by reminding him that losing coaches rarely last long in the Premier League. Speaking earlier this week in Liverpool's The Reds Roundtable, alongside Richard Hughes and Billy Hogan, Slot implied the greatest success a manager could have is to implement an entertaining approach. As a manager, you can win the league, Champions League, the FA Cup, or the League Cup, but the biggest thing you can win is that you can play the nicest football to watch, said the Dutchman. Guardiola has managed to merge both during his prestigious career at Manchester City, during which he has won 6 Premier League titles. He has also done this while playing a dominant style. Asked about Slot's comments on Friday before this weekend's meeting at Anfield, Guardiola said, "If you want to be a manager, it is best to win trophies. Otherwise, you don't have the chance to play nice football. I think everything is related. As much as you win, you play good," he added.
Now, the most important for Arne is to defend your league, your style, to convince your players to try to do it in the way you believe is the best for the players you have, but in the players in your soul you believe. I think this is the most important thing. Speaking on the topic earlier this week, Jamie Carragher said, as a manager, his style of football, he wants to be remembered. That's what football he will play his whole career, no matter who he's managing. When he leaves Liverpool, yes, trophies are more important. We all know that, and I think Arne Slot knows that. But I think the point he's trying to make is he wants to be remembered as a coach who plays a certain sort of style of football, always looking to play what he would deem as the right way, the ex-defender told Sky Sports. Slot moved to clarify his comments earlier this week, saying, if you don't play good football, it's almost impossible to win something or to achieve something sustainable.
News headline: Liverpool vs. Man City referee was accused of hiding behind VAR by former Reds boss Jurgen Klopp. Liverpool vs. Manchester City in the Premier League will be officiated by Craig Pawson, who has refereed more games involving Liverpool than he has any other club. The referee who will officiate Liverpool's game against Manchester City this weekend was once accused of hiding behind the video assistant referee by former Reds boss Jurgen Klopp. Craig Pawson will be the man in the middle for this weekend's clash at Anfield, 5 years on from Klopp criticizing the South Yorkshire-based ref after a game between Liverpool and West Ham. In November 2021, after Liverpool lost a Premier League game 3-2 at the London Stadium, Klopp made his discontent clear after what he perceived to be a foul on Alisson in the build-up to one of West Ham's goals went unpunished, while he also believed that Aaron Cresswell should have been sent off. It is a clear foul on Alisson. How can it not be? The arm from Ogbonna is there. You always have to say the ref maybe in the game can see it, but when you see the dynamic of the whole situation, when they all go down, how close they are, he said. They are in each other. How can that not be a foul already without pushing the arm of Alisson? But the ref made it easy for himself and thought, come on, let's see what the VAR is saying. VAR had a look and said, not clear and obvious. I don't know why, and gives the goal, which is really strange. Then I saw the situation with Hendo, Jordan Henderson, and Aaron, Cresswell, and the way I saw it, it is a clear red card. There is actually no discussion possible, and again, I don't know, they will probably say because he touched the ball before. But a reckless challenge, you can touch whatever you want before. If you cannot control your leg that much and you hit your opponent high up the leg, you cannot go like this in a challenge. But we cannot make these decisions, obviously, and the ref, I don't know what he would say about that now, but in the game he looked quite confident his decisions were right. Pawson has taken charge of a total of 44 Liverpool games during his career, including 14 since that loss to West Ham. The most recent of those games came earlier this year, when Liverpool drew 2-2 with Fulham at Craven Cottage. In total, Liverpool has won 30 of the 44 games that have been officiated by Pawson, drawing 7 and losing 7.
News headline: Dominik Szoboszlai tells Liverpool to double wages as Man City, Real Madrid prowl. Liverpool need to offer Dominik Szoboszlai a huge new salary to tie the midfielder down to fresh terms and stop him from joining Manchester City or Real Madrid, according to a sensational report. Szoboszlai has managed 8 goals and 7 assists in 33 appearances so far this term. He has been Liverpool's standout player in what has been an inconsistent season so far. When signing Szoboszlai from RB Leipzig for £60 million in July 2023, Liverpool handed the Hungarian a 5-year contract. There is still 2.5 years to run on that deal, though Szoboszlai has put himself in line for a lucrative new contract through his elite performances. Hungarian outlet Blick has now provided a big update on talks to extend Szoboszlai's contract. They report that negotiations are underway and have reached an important point.
It is claimed that the influential 25-year-old has demanded an astronomical new salary worth £300,000 a week. He is currently on 120 to 150K per week, meaning Liverpool will incredibly need to double his wages to forge an agreement. Szoboszlai feels he has earned this eye-watering new salary as he has performed better than new signings Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak, who are reportedly on 200K and 280K per week respectively. Szoboszlai also wants to get closer to Liverpool's highest earners, Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk. Salah takes home 400K per week, while Van Dijk is on 350K per week. Blick add that Liverpool need to step up talks with Szoboszlai, as Real Madrid hold interest in the player. Madrid were previously linked with Szoboszlai in November. Plus, fellow Hungarian source Here TV has claimed that Manchester City are keeping close tabs on Szoboszlai's situation ahead of a potential move. Dominik Szoboszlai has confirmed Liverpool talks. Szoboszlai was asked about his contract situation on January 20th. "There are always talks. You guys in the media make a lot for the people, public, and keep on going because that's your job." He replied, "There have been talks, but for sure not any decision has been made. There is always progress, but no decision has been made, and I'll just keep on going every week, every training, giving my best for the team, for the fans. Let's see what is going to happen in the future." He added, "Of course, I am happy here, but you know how football works, and that is something everybody has to take into account." Szoboszlai is not the only midfielder Liverpool are trying to tie down, as they also need to resolve the futures of Alexis McAllister and Ryan Gravenberch. Madrid are known to be long-term admirers of McAllister, putting pressure on Liverpool to get such deals over the line. Liverpool, emergency talks, N'Gamoho ruling. Meanwhile, a report has revealed whether Liverpool have been successful in changing the terms of Harvey Elliott's Aston Villa loan after emergency talks between the two clubs. Liverpool handed Chelsea a huge blow in September 2024 when they captured highly rated young winger Rio N'Gamoho. But the Reds have now been told to pay Chelsea a fee for the 17-year-old ace.